Levi Onwuzurike, Ennis Rakestraw, Colby Sorsdal, fill in the blank. Lions have an injury problem, which means we should probably pray about it. St. Jared Goff welcomes you. I welcome you here at Let's Talk Lions. My name is Jay. You know what? I just want to beg the question, if I may, because I had a Packers fan who I work with come up to my office this last week, and he kind of lofted it out there, and it had me thinking all weekend long about it. The question being, when do we finally address the fact that the Lions are one of the most injured teams in the NFL now 2 years in a row? I know we're only 8 weeks in, and there's a chance for that to get better. In fact, we're getting guys back here soon, hopefully before Thanksgiving. DJ Reed is back on the field. Who knows with Terry on? Let's see. We should be getting more guys back, getting a lean back. Phenomenal. And at the same time, that question basically asking, when are we going to address it? It almost feels wrong of me to ask it because it feels like I'm questioning Dan Campbell and the method to the madness by saying, is there potential that the intensity of what is Detroit Lions football on the practice field is playing any sort of role in the injury rate for the Lions out on the field on a Sunday? And it feels like even asking that question sets me up to be somebody who's like a doubter. Like, oh, how could you question the method to the madness? Well, I just feel like now seeing last year, and I think the Super Bowl was within Detroit's grasp, but the amount of injuries sustained defensively, it could not be done. And I'm looking at this year, and yes, the secondary that stepped up in Rock Ya-Sin, in Mallet, in all of the guys, Meek Robertson, all these guys coming out, Harper, Whiteside, played phenomenal, and I love that, but how sustainable is that week after week after week after week? If you're out Kirby Joseph, if you're out Terrion Arnold, if you're out Avonte Maddox, and you keep going down this list, and all of a sudden you're losing more and more players, at what point does the Super Bowl that is within the grasp of the Detroit Lions, that window wide open, close because of injury? Now, I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a physical therapist. I'm nothing of that nature. So I don't really understand. But I'm like, when Philadelphia has 21 out of 22 starters, how much of that has to do with intensity of practice? How much of that has to do with diet and practice, or rather health practices? And how much of that has to do with Lady Luck, Liquid Luck, Felix Felicis? So I'm not sitting here thinking to myself, man, we absolutely have to tone it down. But you do have to ask yourself, we have created an identity. The Detroit Lions, Dan Campbell, have created an identity that is grit, rough and tough. Doesn't matter what happens, we're going to fight right back. And I love that. Not only has that identity been established, it is being built upon. The foundation was built. The house has been built upon it. We know who the Lions are. Everybody knows who the Lions are. Is it time to start paring back a little bit of that? Calm down, just a little bit of that, so that whatever is going on in practice does not find a way to work its way into games on Sunday with injuries. How much of it does? I don't know. I'm not there. But I think about the St. Brown Brothers podcast in the summer. They were talking about Avonte Maddox saw, I believe, Marcus Davenport light up Jahmyr Gibbs, and he turned and said, what's like waiting for the whistles, waiting for them to get broken up. And he said, nothing happened. And he goes, you boys hit like this out here at practice? What are you doing? This would never fly in Philly. And it kind of makes sense why Philadelphia had all their starters, 21 out of 22, I believe, in the Super Bowl. So I am just lofting the question to you. I'm just throwing it out there. Consider it, because I've been thinking about it all weekend long. At what point can we pare that back, that intensity back a little bit? We know who we are. But does paring it back change the way the boys play on a Sunday? Does it change the mindset? Maybe. I don't know. Let me know. Let me know what you think in the comment section because it is fascinating. It's a fascinating thought, and we have to think about it because you go down the list of all the guys that have been injured. Levi Onwuzurike was the first one to go out July 20th, right? And so with him and the ACL, then you had Dan Jackson, safety, who we were really excited. I was really excited to see how he was going to be. Ennis Rakestraw, again, 2 years in a row. Guys like Colby Sorsdal, very interested in. Jamarco Jones, Shane Zylstra, DJ Reed, Khalil Dorsey, Giovanni Manu, Malcolm Rodriguez, obviously still waiting for him to come back. Marcus Davenport for the nth time. Daniel Thomas, Josh Pascal, Miles Frazier. And now you obviously have Kirby Joseph, Terrion Arnold, Avonte Maddox, Zach Cunningham, and Vaki. Few more on this list as well. Obviously, a couple questionables. We'll see what happens with Rock Yassin. But again, you start looking down this list and you got to ask yourself, what in the world is going on and why? And does practice have anything to do with it? Does the intensity of it have anything to do with it? And if so, can't we just pare that back a little bit to make sure the boys are healthy on any given Sunday? But that is it. Those are my thoughts. Those are my thoughts coming into this day. Very excited this week. I heard that J.J. McCarthy has been named starter against the Lions. So let's destroy him in his third start in the NFL. It's going to be fun. I will be doing a Lions-Vikings preview shot at Founders Brewing. That is right. Going to Founders, filming there. Going to also then have another video that'll come out Friday, which will be me sitting down with two individuals from Founders. And we're going to break down the NFC North and everything going on there in general. Playoff pictures, headed out of the bye. But I will be doing a Lions-Vikings preview at Founders. That should come out Thursday this week. With that being said, St. Jared, we ask thee, do something. Save the boys. Save the boys. That feels sacrilegious. I can't do that.